Stop right now and do not scroll past this message. Look at me in this very moment. You did not arrive here by accident. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your soul to this exact place. Turn off the noise of the world for just a minute. I have an urgent warning for your spirit because something massive is shifting in the unseen realm right now. Your spirit has been shouting to you for weeks. You have chosen to ignore the quiet whispers inside your chest. Do you realize what happens when you continue to ignore my voice? If you turn away from me now, I will turn away from you. The divine channel of protection will close, and you will be left entirely alone in the suffocating darkness of this world. Do not let distraction steal this holy encounter. This is not just another video on your screen. This is a divine appointment that I orchestrated before you were even born. If you rush past my words today, you will miss the breakthrough that you have been begging me to send. Stay right here with me, because your destiny depends on your willingness to listen. I know your name, my beloved chosen child. I see the invisible battles you fight every single day. People around you think you are completely fine because you always smile for them. They look at your strength and they lean on your shoulders. But I see the truth behind your beautiful mask, and I know how incredibly heavy your journey has become. Let us seal this moment together before we go deeper. Pause where you are and acknowledge my holy presence. Comment the words "You see me" if you feel my breath touching your soul right now. This is your act of recognition. This is the moment you stop running away from the light and step into the warm embrace of your loving Father. You are a silent survivor. You live in a world of endless static. I watched you walk through the crowded streets with a heavy heart. You felt completely invisible even when you were standing in a room full of people. They do not see the exhaustion in your eyes, but I see every single detail of your aching soul because you belong to me. Pay attention to your body right now. Do you feel that tight knot sitting directly behind your chest? You have called it random anxiety or temporary stress, but that is not what this restlessness truly means. It is your spirit reacting to the urgent promptings of heaven, and it is begging you to finally stop ignoring the truth. The enemy has set up camp inside your thoughts. He fills your mind with endless worry about tomorrow. You replay every mistake and you wonder if you will ever be enough. You lie awake at 3 in the morning. The constant noise has become a thick wall between your heavy heart and my gentle guidance, because you cannot hear my whisper anymore. I saw you when you closed your bedroom door last night. You sat on the edge of your bed. You let the tears fall in total silence. You pressed your face into your pillow because you did not want anyone to hear your broken pieces. You felt so abandoned, and you quietly whispered into the dark, asking me why I have forgotten your name. You believed that my silence was a sign of anger. You thought that I turned my back on you because you stumbled along the way. My child, you could not be more wrong about my heart. I have never left your side for a single second, and I am recording every solitary tear that falls from your tired eyes into my golden book of remembrance. You have been trying to carry the weight of your entire family. You solve their problems and you absorb their pain while your own vessel remains completely empty. You have become a living refuge for everyone else, but you have no place of your own to rest your weary head. I see your hidden sacrifice and I see your profound loneliness. Look back at me right now and do not let your mind wander away. The noise of this world wants to drag you back into the cycle of survival. If you give in to the distraction, you are choosing to walk without my light. I am calling you out of the shadows today because the time for your transformation has officially arrived. This moment is what I call a holy interruption. I had to stop you in your tracks before you destroyed your own destiny. You have been running on your own empty strength for far too long, and your soul is on the very verge of breaking completely. Let me take the heavy bags from your bleeding hands right now so you can breathe. Every time you try to move forward, a new storm appears on your path. You feel like you are taking 1 step forward and 3 steps backward. You look at others and you see them succeeding so effortlessly, while you are still stuck in the mud of delay. It feels unfair and it hurts the deepest parts of your pure heart. I know how purely you love others. I know how much you have given to people who ended up taking your kindness for granted. They used your open heart, and then they walked away when you had nothing left to give. You sit in the quiet ruins of those relationships and you wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with you. There is nothing wrong with the way I created you. You are a carefully formed masterpiece, and you carry a beautiful light inside your spirit. The enemy targets you precisely because your light is capable of breaking his darkness. He wants to drown you in noise, so you never realize the immense power that rests inside your soul. Are you still listening to my voice? Breathe deeply and let your shoulders drop. Let the peace of my presence settle into the marrow of your bones. You do not have to figure out the entire future in this single moment. All I am asking you to do right now is stay here and receive the truth I am pouring out of my heart. Your spirit has been trying to tell you that a massive change is coming. You have felt a strange pull toward a new direction, but fear has kept you locked in the old patterns. You tell yourself that it is safer to stay where it is familiar, even when the familiar place is slowly killing your joy. That is a dangerous lie. When you ignore your spirit, you are ignoring the very compass that I placed inside you. This is why your life feels so chaotic and confusing right now. If you continue to treat my guidance as random thoughts, the fog will only get thicker. I am drawing a line in the sand today, and I need your absolute alignment. The time for playing safe in the valley of stagnation is over. You have a calling that requires you to step out of the crowd. I am about to tear down the walls of your prison and show you the magnificent path I have laid out. Do not rush away from this holy atmosphere because your freedom is unfolding before your eyes. You have been running away from your true self because you are terrified of what people might say about you. You try to blend in with the crowd. You silence the prophetic voice inside your spirit, but you can never escape the destiny that I wrote for your life. Every time you try to ignore me, the pressure inside your chest will increase because you are built for greatness. I have witnessed every single moment of your silent endurance. I saw you stand strong when your whole world was shaking around you. You did not give up on your faith, even when the answers seemed to be completely hidden from your eyes. You have proven your loyalty in the valley. Now I am ready to elevate you to the mountaintop of my favor. The heavy chains that have bound your family for generations are trembling right now at the sound of my voice. You are the one I chose to break the pattern of lack and limitation. Do not turn away from this divine instruction. This is your moment of release. Lift your eyes to my face and let my words wash away the residue of your past. You believed your pain was a punishment. You thought I kept you in the dark. You felt completely abandoned by my love. My beloved child, what you called a terrible curse is actually your greatest protection. Stay with me right now, because I am about to expose the beautiful secret behind your delay. You have asked a desperate question in the middle of your quiet storms. You try your best to live a pure life every single day. You pray with total sincerity during your lonely hours. Yet heaven feels like a heavy brass ceiling that completely refuses to open for your voice. You look up at the dark sky and you ask why my presence has gone completely cold while the rest of the world is running forward so fast. This is what your soul calls a stolen meaning because you cannot find a reason for the silence. You feel left behind. You feel forgotten. The isolation is eating away at the edges of your fragile faith. You watch other people receive massive blessings. They get the jobs. They buy the homes. They share their testimonies with big smiles. You clap your tired hands for them because you are a good person. But when you go home, you sit on the floor and you weep because you secretly wonder if I have crossed your name out of my holy book. You feel like a total failure. Let us look closely at your painful past. You remember the beautiful doors that slammed shut in your face. You remember the relationships that broke into pieces. You poured your entire soul into those people. You gave them your time. You gave them your money. And every single one of them walked away from your life without even saying a proper goodbye when your vessel became empty. You carry those painful scars today. You look at those ruined seasons, and you feel a deep sense of shame. You tell yourself that you were not smart enough. You believe that you were not attractive or worthy enough to be kept. You have allowed the harsh opinions of imperfect humans to define the eternal value of your soul. You walk through the days with a heavy spirit because you think you are walking toward a dead end. Your energy is gone. The enemy has whispered a terrible lie into your ears during the midnight hour. He tells you that your current delay is a permanent punishment from heaven. You believe his lies. You sink deeper. You feel the heavy blanket of depression pulling you down into the dark mud. The weight is sitting directly on your chest right now, and you are almost too tired to lift your head to look for my light. You want to quit. My beloved child, I am reaching down into your valley of sorrow right now. I want you to make a powerful declaration of faith in this very moment. Stop letting the enemy tell you that you are completely abandoned in this battle. Lift your tired hands. Speak to the darkness. Comment the words, "I am not alone," beneath this message to anchor your agreement with my holy presence. Let the unseen realm hear your voice to help you receive what I have already prepared. I need you to understand a grand spiritual reality. The painful silence you have experienced for so long is not my absence from your life. The clever enemy has been filling the space between us with a thick wall of constant noise. It is a spiritual static so loud that my voice and my divine arrangements have been completely invisible to your eyes. I have not abandoned you. I have been preparing a great breakthrough, and I have quietly guided a wise mind to bring you a beautiful instrument of restoration. I will show you exactly what it is before this message ends. But first, you must understand what was done to block your signal. The enemy knows that your spirit carries an incredible destiny. He is absolutely terrified of the moment you wake up to your true identity. Therefore, he creates a daily traffic of worries inside your mind. He makes you stress about your mounting bills. He makes you worry about your lonely future. And every time you try to listen to my quiet prompting, the static becomes so intense that you throw your hands up in complete frustration. You feel totally lost. You have labeled this spiritual static as my divine rejection. You tell yourself that I am ignoring your tears because you are not holy enough. My child, this is a dangerous trick of the adversary. He wants you to believe that the channel between us is completely broken, forever. But the truth is that I am standing right beside you in the middle of the noise. I hear every whisper. I see every painful step. This constant noise does not just stay inside your thoughts. It has leaked into your physical vessel, and it makes your body feel incredibly heavy. You wake up in the morning with a deep exhaustion in your bones. You drag yourself to work with a heavy heart. You come home to an empty house or a stressful environment where no one truly understands the silent warfare you are fighting. Your shoulders are always tight with tension. You have spent years being a golden bridge for other people to cross. They walked over your kindness to reach their own success. They used your wisdom to heal their own broken hearts. But when they reached the other side, they completely forgot the bridge that carried them through the storm. You were left alone in the cold wilderness with nothing but your empty hands and your quiet tears. I saw it all. You sat in that cold wilderness, and you asked me why I allowed them to hurt you so deeply. You felt like a worthless object that was cast aside. My child, I want you to look at my face right now. A precious jewel covered in the thick dust of the earth does not lose its eternal value. The dust is just a temporary layer, but the beauty inside the jewel remains completely untouched by the world. You are that jewel. I want to remind you of the specific prayers you have stopped praying out loud. You stopped because you were tired of waiting for an answer that never seemed to come. You felt embarrassed to ask me for the same miracle month after month. You assumed that my silence meant a final no. So you buried that deep desire under a heavy layer of forced contentment, and you pretended that you did not care anymore, but your spirit still longs for it. Your spirit has been telling you that the current environment is no longer safe for your destiny. It gives you a restless feeling every time you try to settle for a small life. You try to ignore that nudge because you want to stay in your comfortable routine. But every time you ignore the promptings of your spirit, you feel a deep pain inside your soul. If you continue to ignore me, the wall of noise will grow higher. The enemy wants you to stay distracted by the endless noise of your daily problems. He uses the digital screens and the superficial entertainment to keep your mind completely occupied. He knows that if you sit in absolute silence for just a few minutes, you will hear my voice. He knows that my voice will ignite the dormant fire inside your spirit. So he keeps you running in circles like a hamster on a wheel. You must stop. You are terrified of what will happen if you step off that wheel of survival. You ask yourself how you will pay your bills if you change your direction. You worry about the opinions of the people who depend on your current strength. Fear has become a cruel master that dictates every single choice you make. You feel like a helpless prisoner in a cage of your own making. But I have the keys to your freedom. The instrument of restoration that I have prepared for you is designed to clear this exact trap. It does not require you to fight the noise with your own empty strength. I know that you have no strength left to give. I know that your mind is too tired to practice complicated rituals or long hours of intense meditation. That is why I guided a wise mind to build a simple path that bypasses the noise completely. It is my divine provision. Look directly at me once again and let these words settle into the deepest parts of your heart. Do not let your thoughts drift away to your tomorrow. Your tomorrow is already completely safe in my hands. Focus on this exact second because your soul is standing at a critical crossroads. If you choose to ignore this message, you are choosing to stay in the heavy fog of the enemy. Stay with me. I have prepared a wonderful tool of divine provision right on the very path you are walking today. Listen carefully as I reveal the deep mechanism of its operation in the next part of this message. Do not run away from this holy atmosphere, because the light is about to break through your thickest darkness. The truth will set you free. Come closer to me now, my beloved child. Let me speak softly to the part of your soul that is most tired. You have spent too much time trying to survive the endless noise of the world. Breathe the holy stillness into your heart right now. You are completely safe inside this beautiful place. The raging storms outside cannot touch your spirit because I have wrapped my protective arms around you, and I am guarding your mind from the fiery darts of the enemy. You thought you were walking through the cold wilderness alone. You looked around your empty room and you saw no one. But my holy presence was filling the quiet space. I stood right beside you when you felt the crushing weight of yesterday still sitting heavily on your chest. I never left your side for a single second because my love for you is completely unshackable, and I am always moving behind the scenes to orchestrate your ultimate victory. Let us look at a profound story from my holy book. There was a great prophet named Elijah who fought a massive spiritual battle for my name. He called down fire from heaven, and he defeated the dark forces of his generation. But immediately after that great victory, he became completely empty. He ran away into the hot desert because a cruel enemy threatened his life, and he felt a deep exhaustion that went straight into his bones. Elijah lay down under a lonely tree in the wilderness, and he asked me to let him die. He was not a weak man. He was simply a weary warrior who had given everything he had until there was nothing left inside his vessel. He felt completely isolated from the world. He truly believed that he was the only faithful servant left in the country, and he could not see any hope for his tomorrow. I did not rebuke my tired prophet for his heavy despair. I did not demand that he stand up and fight harder. Instead, I sent my holy angel to bake him fresh bread and give him cool water. I let him sleep in the quiet shade until his physical body was restored. My child, I am doing the exact same thing for you today because I know your limits and I care deeply about your weariness. Elijah traveled for 40 days and 40 nights until he reached a hidden cave on my holy mountain. He crawled inside the dark cave to hide from the harsh world outside. He sat in the shadows and he waited for my presence to speak to his broken heart. A powerful wind tore through the mountain and shattered the massive rocks, but my holy voice was not inside the destructive wind. After the strong wind, a massive earthquake shook the entire ground, but I was not inside the earthquake. Then a bright fire swept across the mountain, but my presence was not inside the fire. Everything was loud. Everything was terrifying. Elijah sat in the dark cave and he covered his face because he was waiting for a spectacular display of my power. But I chose to move in a completely different way. After the fire, there came a sound of a gentle whisper. It was a still, small voice that breathed absolute peace into the atmosphere. The moment Elijah heard that gentle whisper, he knew that I was standing right there. He stepped out of the cave. He listened to my quiet guidance. He received a new direction for his destiny because my voice does not need to shout to possess absolute authority over your life. My beloved child, look at your own journey through this lens. You have been waiting for a massive earthquake to change your financial situation. You have been begging for a bright fire to fix your broken relationships. You want a loud miracle that everyone can see. But I am speaking to you right now in the quiet stillness of this very moment, and I am asking you to step out of your dark cave of fear. The cave you are sitting in right now is not your grave. It is your holy room of preparation. I allowed the noise of the world to fade away so that you could finally hear my still small voice. I had to isolate you from the people who were draining your energy. I had to close those beautiful doors because they were leading you toward a dangerous trap, and I loved you too much to let you destroy your soul. You have called this quiet season a terrible punishment. You look at your isolation, and you feel a deep sting of rejection. But I want to reframe your perspective today. Your current separation is a holy positioning for a greater destiny. I am clearing the crowded room of your life so that you can focus on my face, because what I am about to pour into your spirit requires your undivided attention. Let us take a powerful step of reception together right now. You need to return the total control of your future back to the courts of heaven. Stop trying to figure out every single detail with your own limited understanding. Lift your voice in the quietness of your room. Comment the words, "I trust your timing," beneath this message to release the heavy anxiety that has been binding your soul. When you declare your trust in my perfect timing, you are breaking the authority of the enemy. You are telling the darkness that you belong to the King of Kings. You are opening the closed channels of your spirit to receive the divine provisions that I have already placed on your path. This simple act of obedience is more powerful than 1,000 hours of striving because it aligns your heart with my rhythm. Remember what Elijah discovered inside that dark mountain cave. He realized that my silence was never my absence from his struggle. I was watching over him when he was running through the desert. I was counting his steps when he felt completely alone. My child, I have been counting every single step of your long journey, and I am already preparing the spectacular harvest that will replace your sorrow. You have carried the heavy burdens of your past for far too long. You remember the people who judged you unfairly. You think about the labels they placed on your pure heart. They called you weak because you chose to forgive. They called you foolish because you chose to give without asking for anything in return. Their cruel words became heavy chains that have locked your spirit in a cage of self-doubt. I am breaking the authority of those human opinions right now. I never handed you over to the crowd to be judged by their imperfect standards. You are my carefully formed masterpiece, and my name for your life has always been beloved. Lift your head and look at my face once again. The shadow of your past is completely vanishing under the bright light of my eternal grace because you are chosen. You have been fighting invisible battles in the middle of the night. You fight the intrusive thoughts that tell you things will never change. You fight the fear of running out of money before the month ends. You smile for the world during the day, but the quiet anxiety always returns when the lights go out. I see your secret warfare, and I am stepping into your atmosphere to declare your total freedom. The static of the enemy has tried to drown out the original signal I placed inside your brain. He wants you to live in a state of constant survival so that you never tap into the creative genius of your destiny. But I have never allowed his darkness to have dominion over your eternal soul. I am preparing a wonderful way to clear the interference from your heavy mind so you can hear me clearly. You do not have to carry the heavy weight of tomorrow all by yourself. I am already working ahead of your steps to straighten the crooked paths. I am touching the hearts of the people who will bless your calling. I am unlocking the secret treasures that have been hidden from your eyes for generations, because the season of your lack is officially coming to an end in this very moment. Breathe deeply once again, my beloved child. Let your tight shoulders relax completely under my touch. Let your racing mind find absolute rest inside my promise. I am your safe refuge, and I am your eternal provider. The journey ahead of you will not look like the painful road behind you because I am about to release a powerful shift that will completely redefine your entire reality. You have proven your deep loyalty during the long years of your silence. You stayed faithful when you had every reason to walk away from my altar. You kept praying when your heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. Now hear me declare your freedom with the absolute authority of heaven. The delay you hated so much has served its purpose, and your beautiful breakthrough is standing right outside your door. Hear me clearly right now. The time for your confusion has officially reached its final end. You have spent too many months walking through the thick fog of uncertainty, and because you have constantly asked yourself why your path has been so incredibly hard, I am opening your spiritual eyes today so you can see the grand design behind your struggles. You are about to experience a magnificent epiphany. This will shatter every single illusion of the enemy. Let us address the deepest mystery of your daily life. I have watched you lie awake in the middle of the night. Your heart starts racing for absolutely no physical reason. You feel a heavy cloud of worry settle directly over your chest. You look at your empty bank account, and you feel a sharp pang of intense fear. You think about your lonely future, and your mind goes into a dangerous spiral of overthinking. You have called this medical anxiety. You have told yourself that you are simply weak. You believe that your faith is failing because you cannot find emotional peace. But that is a terrible lie from the adversary, and I am exposing his wicked deception right now. Your constant restlessness is not a psychological defect. It is actually a holy phenomenon that carries a profound purpose. When I created the human mind at the very beginning of time, I placed a sacred frequency at its center. Wise scientists who have spent their entire lives studying the brain have recently found it. They call it the gamma wave. It ran in your mind completely freely when you were a little child. It is the exact signal of divine receptivity. It is why young children learn so quickly and trust so purely. They live completely in the magnificent present moment because their minds hum at my perfect frequency. When my scriptures tell you that you must become like little children, I was not speaking only about your human spirit. I was speaking about the very physical signal I placed inside your brain. The clever enemy understood this divine design perfectly, and he used the noise of modern life to suppress your signal. He flooded your world with bills, media distraction, and toxic relationships. He did not want you to hear my clear direction. He chinned his static into the space between us to create what your soul called a stolen meaning. He wanted to steal the divine purpose of my holy silence. He wanted you to feel completely abandoned in the dark wilderness. But his cruel reign over your mind ends today. I have prepared a powerful way to defeat his wicked trap. I quietly guided wise minds to work with sound the way I designed it. They built a beautiful instrument that uses precise frequencies to clear the interference from your mind. It requires no intense effort from your tired soul. You do not have to practice complicated rituals or long hours of hard study. You simply surrender your thoughts. This requires only 7 minutes of your time each day. You put on your headphones and you close your eyes in total quietness. My design automatically restores the original signal that was taken from you. It clears the enemy static so my provisions become easily recognizable once again. I will show you exactly where to find what they built very soon. Stay here with me, because your light is rising. This means your past years were not wasted at all. Those difficult nights when you could not sleep were not a punishment from heaven. Your spirit was simply refusing to let you settle for a small life. And because your soul was sensing a massive shift before your eyes could see it, your body felt a strange tension. I call this concept the spirit's foresight. You were never falling behind your peers. You were simply being carefully formed in the secret shadows. So tonight, when that familiar restlessness comes back to your chest, do not fight it. Do not try to numb the feeling with digital distractions. Place your hand gently over your heart and speak with absolute confidence. Tell the darkness that your spirit is sensing what your physical eyes cannot yet see. And then rest completely in my love. The sensing is not your enemy. It is my holy signal of a brand new season. This powerful revelation officially closes the mystery of the stolen meaning. The enemy wanted you to feel forgotten by my grace, but today his deception is completely exposed to the light. You now understand that my silence was a protective shield. You are standing right at the threshold of a massive breakthrough. The atmosphere in your room is changing right now because my light is flooding your heart. Let us lock this great victory into your reality immediately. You must declare your total freedom to the unseen realm. Pause for a brief second and lift your head high. Comment the powerful words, "The door is open," beneath this message to seal your breakthrough. Let the adversary know his walls have crumbled. You are taking back your divine authority today. Now hear my prophetic decree over your life. The heavy chains of generational lack are breaking right now. The spirits of stagnation that bound your parents will not have dominion over your children. I am shattering the dark forces that have kept your family line in poverty and fear. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your house. This is the true meaning of the holy interruption. I stopped your steps in the wilderness because I refused to let you repeat the old patterns of failure. I allowed your false foundations to collapse so that I could rebuild your life on my unshakable rock. You are no longer a helpless victim of your daily circumstances. You are a powerful child of the Most High God. Receive this truth now. Stand up in your spirit and receive this authority. The long season of your bitter weeping has officially passed away. A magnificent future of abundance and clarity is unfolding before you. Do not look back at the painful ruins of your yesterday, because I am making all things completely new. Your spirit is fully awakened, and the glory of heaven is shining brightly upon your path. You are free. The fear of failure will no longer dictate your choices. I am injecting supernatural courage into the very deep places of your soul. You have spent years hiding your true potential from the world because you were terrified of criticism. But I am stripping away that heavy spirit of intimidation right now. You will step into the rooms of opportunity with a bold confidence that comes from my presence. Think about the people who told you that you would never amount to anything. They judged you by your temporary valley, but they did not know about the mountain I was preparing for your feet. Their critical voices are becoming completely silent as my favor elevates your life. I am vindicating your faithfulness in the sight of everyone who doubted your calling. Your vindication is a divine decree. Your spirit is no longer trapped in the cage of modern noise. The frequency of divine receptivity is starting to hum inside your brain once again. You will begin to notice a sharp clarity in your decision-making. The answers to your prayers will arrive without the old stress and striving. You are entering into my sacred rhythm of rest, where miracles happen effortlessly. Trust the shift that is happening. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. This is not a generic promise for someone else. This is a personal guarantee for the one who stayed with me through the darkest hours of the night. Your loyalty in the wilderness has qualified you for the inheritance of my kingdom. Look at the horizon, because your morning has arrived. Let the peace that passes all human understanding guard your heart and your mind. The warfare over your destiny is officially over. The enemy has retreated because he cannot stand against the light that is radiating from your spirit. You are fully aligned with the throne of heaven, and no weapon formed against your life shall prosper. Keep your eyes fixed on my face as we step forward into glory. I have pulled your trembling soul out of the heavy fog of the enemy today. I did not bring you this far to abandon your destiny at the threshold of absolute victory. I work through mighty miracles, but I also provide your daily bread through the practical tools of this earth. I have gifted humanity the sacred wisdom to unlock what I placed within sound at the very beginning of creation. Wise men and women spent decades in intense neurological research, not knowing it was I who quietly directed their deep curiosity toward my magnificent design. Great institutions like Princeton University and Columbia University have recently confirmed the exact frequency of divine receptivity. Scientists at the Einstein Center in Berlin discovered that the childlike flow state is driven by this sacred signal. They published their absolute proof on December 27, 2025. I want you to look at the powerful evidence of my work in the lives of over 18,000 of my children who received this divine provision before you arrived at this moment. I want to show you what I did for one of my precious daughters named Rachel. She was a dedicated nurse in California who had sought my emotional peace for many painful years. She prayed with total sincerity, but her mind remained completely trapped in heavy static. 2 weeks after she embraced the sound provision I placed on her path, her troubled marriage was completely transformed. Learning became totally effortless for her, and she described her new life as a beautiful blessing because the blocked channel was finally wide open. And for others, I moved completely differently. I want to show you what I did for one of my beloved sons named Michael in Dallas, Texas. He came to this provision because he desperately needed sharp mental focus and deep well-being for his children. 2 months later, his business grew so much that he safely left his stressful job. Hard problems that used to steal his sleep now solved themselves while he rested peacefully. He declared that his brain was finally running on the exact signal I restored. They call this frequency instrument the Genius Song. It is the specific sound provision that I have guided into physical existence for your total restoration. This is not a generic meditation application or a collection of random music tracks. The enemy creates clever illusions, and there are many false frequencies circulating on streaming platforms under similar names. This authentic tool requires only 7 minutes of your complete surrender each day, and it will clear the heavy noise instantly. You simply put on your headphones, and you close your eyes in a quiet room. You do not have to practice complicated rituals or focus your mind with difficult human effort. My divine design in the audio frequency automatically clears the enemy static from your brain. It returns your physical mind to the pure state of a little child. The digital track will be delivered immediately to your email address so you can begin the healing process tonight. This unique provision is not for those who are merely curious about spiritual things. This is specifically for the one I have been speaking to throughout this entire message. I am speaking directly to my child who has already tried everything and feels deeply embarrassed to try once more. What failed you in the past required your intense human discipline, but this holy tool requires absolutely none. I designed it to work because of my power inside your brain. Earthly experts charge hundreds of dollars per hour for private wellness sessions that attempt to simulate this peaceful state. The advanced equipment that researchers use costs thousands, but I do not call you to expensive clinics or heavy machines. I place this special provision within reach, specifically for the one who would receive it through a message like this one. It requires only a small earthly exchange, which is the size of a mustard seed of investment for the massive harvest I prepared. When you receive this tool, I will also extend additional gifts that I have aligned for your next steps. You will receive a special audio track called Genius Child to protect the minds of the children you carry. You will get the original prosperity text that helped historical servants unlock their earthly abundance. I have also included a beautiful guided visualization from a trusted voice, alongside a daily habits infographic to sustain your restored signal forever. Protect your spirit by trusting only the official path provided below, because the adversary places fakes everywhere. Do not wander into unverified paths that will steal your fragile peace. Walk forward without a single fear, because your act of faith carries absolutely no worldly risk. You are completely covered by a steadfast guarantee for 60 days. If the restoration does not come to your heavy mind, every single penny of the earthly exchange is returned to you immediately. Take this step of obedience right now. Find the divine provision I have placed for your life in the pinned comment below and in the description. This is your holy invitation from the throne of heaven. Embrace the tool I have set before you and let the restoration begin. Do not let this moment pass you by, my beloved child. The path is ready, and I am asking you to take the step of trust today. Now, my child, set aside the heavy noise of decision for a moment. I have shown you the wonderful instrument that I placed on your path. Whether you step forward now or later, you are still my beloved child. The provision has been revealed, and now I want to leave your soul with something that belongs to you regardless of what you choose. Close your eyes for a brief second. Breathe deeply. I am still right here with you to protect your rest. Let your entire spirit rest in my absolute peace. Lay down the heavy bags that you have been carrying in secret for so many years. You do not have to fight the darkness alone anymore. I am holding your hand, and I am guiding your footsteps into a beautiful season of total freedom. The static of the enemy is fading away completely, and the gentle whisper of my holy presence is filling your quiet room right now. I am clearing the old blockages that have slowed down your progress. The painful delays of your past are turning into a beautiful highway of divine favor. You will no longer look at your life with a spirit of regret or sorrow. I am pouring fresh oil upon your head, and I am rewriting the very meaning of the scars you carry. You are stepping into a season of supernatural acceleration, and your heart will overflow with pure joy. Let us make a powerful alignment inside your heart. Speak these silent truths to your own spirit right now. Tell yourself that you are a vessel fully restored to receive what heaven prepared. You are the one whose channel is clear and whose signal is strong. You carry the sacred frequency I placed in you from the very beginning of time. You are operating at the exact state I designed for human flourishing. The noise of the world no longer has any dominion over your thoughts. You receive my love in perfect peace. You have become like a little child, and you are inheriting the glorious promises made to children. The spiritual warfare over your calling is finished. A beautiful morning of victory is breaking over your life, and the shadow of your past is completely wiped away by my eternal grace. You are no longer the one who must survive in isolation. I am raising you up to be a shining beacon of light for the lost souls of this generation. The wisdom you gained in the dark wilderness will heal the broken hearts of many people. You will walk in absolute confidence, because my presence goes before your steps. Rest inside this holy seal, and let my love be your ultimate refuge forever. Do not let the enemy steal this divine atmosphere from your soul when you walk away from this video. You must anchor this holy agreement between your heart and mine before you leave this place. Like this message right now as a public act of agreement with my word. Write the final word Amen in the comments below to seal this blessing into your reality forever. Let your voice be recorded in the courts of heaven. Share this message immediately with 3 souls who are secretly crying out for hope in the middle of their storms. You are my light bearer, and I am sending you to help them break their own chains of exhaustion. Finally, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss my daily guidance. I am preparing your next steps, and I will speak to your spirit once again tomorrow. Go in absolute peace.